it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hi, hello, and welcome. Welcome back to another Onkruid video. Welcome back to Megabonk. Let's say it correctly this time. This guy gains luck apparently, and he starts with the fire staff. This guy is slow, but his armor makes him pretty chunky. Let's spread things out a little bit, like your mom's legs. We have challenges as well. Die upon taking any damage or touching an enemy. That sounds insane. Grab tons of items before the enemies grow too strong. Okay, 5 times enemy scaling. Small boy. I am just weaker. Weird controls. That sounds horrible. Speedrunner, you only have 6 minutes to win. A lot of challenges already coming up. Okay, let's not use a challenge right now. Let's just be a little bit okay with everything, and let's spread things out a little bit. Okay, we have completed tier 1 with the fox guy already. Let's try and kill tier 1 or complete tier 1 with Sir Oofy. Fox and Sir Oofy. Tier 1 forest. Nice and simple, nice and easy. We have all the time in the world. Now that I have completed this stage already and I have figured out how the game works a little tiny bit already, I can also just do things a little bit more in a calm fashion. The first enemy always gives you a silver, it seems like. Immediately we get an altar of Suck or a shrine of Suck, which we don't really need at all right now. Do we want a bow or do we want another melee? I think I want another melee active weapon. Do we want a gold gain again? Let's go for projectile speed for a change. Does projectile speed also work with my sword? I sure hope it does, just like the road work ahead.
Road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does.
I've been struggling, pondering, wondering, debating lately whether I want to start up this gaming stuff again. I still enjoy gaming, but it's different. It's different compared to young Onkruid. When I was just a young boy from a poor family, I enjoyed gaming a lot more than I do now. Maybe it's also just because I game a lot less that my enjoyment has lessened, but I think I need to rediscover my passion for it. And I think a main part of that lies in play, like an extra projectile count, is play more games that actually have like more merit to them, more value to them. Like Megabonk, obviously. Like, I think this is one of the most thought-provoking, philosophical induced games out there. It's sort of drenched in meaning. I think Viktor Frankl would actually recommend you to play this game to survive in the concentration camps like Auschwitz. Increase damage when opening chests. Okay, let's go for a damage tome. I normally take speed all the time, but I feel like we can learn to move around more quickly in other ways as well. Let's kill elites after elites, and I guess they don't all drop chests. It's a bit of a chance game. It's a bit of a gambling game, if you will. Oh yeah, okay. Just that green beam is already becoming the bane of my existence a little bit. It already feels a little bit lackluster if you only get a green bean reward. Green bean reward, potatoes, tomatoes.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, you name it!
I'm doing fine. Last episode talked a little bit about the breakup. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Sometimes in life, when it gives you lemons, you can't make lemonade anymore. Sometimes you figure out that, well, the relationship is just too cooked. I want to handle this in a respectful manner because we still live together, we care for our kitties together, and I still appreciate her to a very large extent. But sometimes you just realize that things are not gonna work out anymore. Things are not as okay as they used to be. And we had our struggles. I've talked about them on the Onkruid channel as well. We had our struggles and we were working through them often. And I feel like we still can talk, communicate, work through our struggles to a large extent, but there were some other things happening in our relationship that made it so that my energy, my vitality, my willpower towards working on the struggles between us is kind of depleted. It's kind of run out. My trust was... We are in trouble. Let's go for throwing bones. My trust was kind of damaged. And that made it so that I really didn't want to work on our relationship anymore. The patterns we were stuck in for a while already, we were working on them to a nice manner. Or to a nice extent. I can use some HP regen, I'm gonna be honest. Especially now that chunk Ham the Terrible is here. I can definitely use some HP regen. Let's focus on dodging a bit. A relationship is always working. No relationship is perfect. No partners fit together to such an extent that the relationship just always flows and never needs some extra attention, some extra help. I feel like even if the relationship is going well, you need to invest that extra attention, extra help into it. Because if you don't, it'll just fall by the wayside, and that's not gonna be fun for any of the parties involved. But after a while, if certain things happen, well, then you don't have the energy to provide that work anymore, and then you're faced with a choice. You're faced with a choice. Oh, the boss portal is here already. You're faced with a choice of like, how am I gonna proceed? How are we gonna proceed? Are we gonna proceed? And it takes. This is tooting my own horn, but I will toot my own horn. It takes some balls to then admit to yourself and your partner, like, no, this is not gonna be okay anymore. I think it's better if we call it quits. It's a very hard decision to make, especially after 9 goddamn years, more than a third of my life. The fact that you make the decision then kind of, I think, indicates that it is not impulsive, that you have given it some thought, that you have put some effort into making the right decision. And of course, you never know beforehand whether you are gonna make the right decision, but if you come to a point where you can make such a decision after 9 years, you better believe that your boy is still painful. The decision is still made with a lot of heartache, with a lot of regret for what happened and my role that I played in it, of course, because I definitely have to highlight that as well. But still, if it happens after such a long while, well then it has to be the right decision, because you don't choose something like that on a whim. You don't choose something like that without giving it a lot of space in your mind, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of jumping puzzles. I hope that makes sense. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, it can be... Why do I keep sliding? Is that part of the effect? Or did I cook a button? I don't know. Why am I eternally sliding? Is it an item I picked up? I don't know why I keep sliding. And it kind of bothers me because it makes me a whole lot slower. Let's go for max HP because I think we are more equipped to gain max HP. Why am I constantly sliding? What did I do? Is there another slide button? Oh. Okay. I pressed my joystick down and I stopped sliding. Don't know if that was really what we were meant to do to stop sliding, but it worked. So I'm gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Give me another beef earring. We are going for a bit of a damage build. We have a lot of just straight up damage increasers. And with a character like this, kind of an Ironclad-esque character, if there are any Slay the Spire fans in the building, I think it kind of works out nicely. Jump higher and further? Sure. I would like to get some air. Get some Nike Air Max Air Force 1s on my feet. Easy, easy, easy. Just jumped over jump, man. As I said, my role in the breakup, I was not the best boyfriend. Not by a large margin. There were patterns kind of flowing into each other on both ends of the spectrum. I was irritated at some of the things she was doing. I could go for some knockback. And some of the choices she was making, which made me kind of hesitant to just stay at home and spend my time at home. Let's blast some music. Still don't know what it does, but hey, can go wrong with some of that sweet, sweet old notes, which made me be more away. I was less at home almost all of the time, and that is difficult if your partner is constantly looking for pleasure, looking for fun, looking for life elsewhere. But it's also my philosophy that if I don't find it at home, it is my responsibility to look for it elsewhere, because I want a life filled with pleasure, filled with social activities, filled with social gatherings, filled with people that I love. So I stand by my choices, but I realize that is then a choice that makes it harder for her to open up to me, harder for her to find energy, because she is way more focused on just being together with her partner and gaining energy from that. So that's where the mismatch between us happened, and that's where we were driving each other further and further away instead of moving closer together, which is what we should have done in order to make our relationship work at that point in time. But not that it's an excuse, but I think it makes it more understandable on both ends what happens, and everybody has their opinion. I think neither one of us was really in the wrong, if that makes sense. But I do think that we both played our part and we both could have handled things better in order to make this relationship work a little longer. But sometimes also it is completely okay to have a relationship run out, you know, to have it as realize that it has run its course, and it doesn't have to be bad that the relationship ends. That's something that sexologist and relationship therapist at my job told me is like one of the most important parts about this whole process is that you realize that you don't throw away what you had because you decide to quit building it up. You don't lose all the memories together. You don't lose all the beautiful years, all the beautiful parts of life you have been through, all the things you have learned together, learned from each other, all the beautiful memories you shared, all the beautiful relationships you have built up together with shared friends. None of that disappears. None of that was wasted. None of the time you spent together, none of the work you invested in the relationship was wasted. Okay, killing a boss also has the suck effect, I guess. Nice little epic. Even more spiky shield. That's nice. I don't know if we're really stacking up armor yet. A nuke. That kind of kills, I guess, everybody on screen. And now we are in the final swarm, which is all just about surviving as long as possible. Let's just hit up this suck altar quickly now that we're here. Although it will not have such a large effect because we have just sucked. I feel like we have quite a lot of gold. This is where we spawn, I think, so this is like the first chest. But it's hard, because it does feel like you are throwing away something. Especially, well, my partner, my ex-partner, she wanted to continue the relationship, and that kind of unfolds in a vision of like, no, let's work on this still, let's go to couples therapy, let's try and figure out what we can still do together. And that makes it even harder to make the decision, because of course you still love the person, of course you still want to, there's a part of you that always still wants to fight for what you had, that also doesn't want to give it up. That makes being steadfast and holding on to your decision even harder. But I am grateful. I am grateful for the relationship we had together, for all the memories we built up together. Another altar of suck. The black ghosts are here, so I do feel like the run is coming to an end. And I am already noticing that this is even shorter than something like, let's say, Soulstone Survivor. So we really need to make sure that we... Goddamn, these guys just... They beat you up. I can have all the evasion in the world. They still gangbang me. We are gonna have to kind of make it clear cut what we are gonna talk about, because we do have like only one topic in the tank for this game. Because everything goes so quickly. Well, I guess future runs might go more slowly, but okay, we have unlocked the leaderboard now. We are not that far up the leaderboard, but what if we look at friends? Ooh, already beaten my buddy Krogrin. And of course, Gorgon Zombo, he has a special kind of acousticness, so it doesn't surprise me that he... Oh, okay. So we unlock things here as well. It's not just in the shop. Spend all our silver to unlock the Santa hat? I don't think we should. I don't think we should. Let's unlock some more weapons then. Can we buy the revolver? No, we need to kill enemies before we can buy the revolver. Let's... Do we want to buy a shield or an aura? Do we want to buy tomes? Let's buy some weapons first. Block incoming attacks and send out shockwaves. That is nice for Sir Ufi. And damage enemies in an aura around you. That is kind of the garlic from Vampire Survivors. And now we can buy another new character, Mega Chad. Because we bought the aura weapon, but we don't have enough silver yet. Let's buy this giant hammer. More damage to elites and bosses. I hoped it would be that. Okay, some nice unlocks. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.